Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Ukir tribe! And yes, we are back with our armor-body, hammer-tailed, moose-horned creatures. So don't worry guys, I know a lot of you guys were messaging me very concerned that we are playing with a new epigenetics update. So what is going to happen to the Ukir tribe? What is going to happen to our Amazon tribe? And for now, they're going to stay exactly the way they were on the old version. So we're back on the version before the epigenetics experimental update, and I've heard that there's going to be tons and tons of tweaks to the actual internal branch update that should be hopefully coming out sometime this week. But I didn't want to leave the Ukirs alone for too long, so we are back over here. We are going to just put aside the fact that there will be an update soon and focus on continuing the story that we have followed for so long with our Snowy Mountain tribe thus far. I've really loved how far we've come to, because look at this, look at how good we've done. We have all of these armor body hammer-tail creatures running around the place. They have nothing to fear, and they're starting to become quite adventurous. I mean, look at this little guy. Tiger doesn't really need to do anything. He might come down here and eat this berry, and then Lily is just kind of roaming around. She might roam over here and gather up some grass, but I really love the fact that we aren't really ever worried about survival with this tribe, and I'm really loving the fact that the mutation menu's back. I know that the epigenetics update has so many fun little tweaks to it that we'll definitely really enjoy experimenting with, but it's a big relief to be able to come back and have a little bit more control as we've traditionally grown used to with our tribe. And actually, I just noticed even with the Ukirs, as long as we've been playing them, we still haven't unlocked the stripes, and we still haven't unlocked a ton of the eye colors and a ton of the fur colors. So maybe we'll start working on that sometime soon. That would actually be pretty fun. But for now, we are currently working on trying to get those big beautiful moose horns into the tribe's genetics, and that is actually a trait that can stack on top of the armored body and hammer tail that we have worked so hard to weave into the Ukir family tree. So it looks like we actually will have little Takel here, who has K and B immunity, and little Doe here, who happens to have D and F immunity, possibly start some sort of romance in the future, their mothers being nest sisters, perhaps encouraging them to do so, because they both have the mega horns in their recessive traits. So, or excuse me, like as their inheritable traits. So there's a chance that if they had children, not only would they be healthy immunity-wise, but they would have those giant mega horns, and we could have an entire herd of creatures roaming the land with hammer tail, armor body, and the mega horns, which would be really cool and display a lot of the really awesome ice genetics that the Ukir tribe has always been searching for and chasing down. The downside is Takel actually has medium body, so I'm really nervous that if it starts snowing, he and Doe are actually going to freeze to death. And they also only have the recessive trait for Hammertail just kind of hanging out in the background there. It is not their active phenotype. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of work to rebreed the Hammertail and the armor body into their line. There may be better creatures that Moose here will father that will try to carry on his horns in the future. But I'm thinking, since we still need to do more exploring, since that was the only glacier that we bumped into, what we're going to do is we're going to keep 3 of the future slots of the creatures we will be sending forth into the new snowy lands in the future to be 100% purebred armor body hammertail guys. And then we'll keep 2 of the slots to be ones that are carrying the mega horns either as their active horn trait or as the genes that they are, tucking away into their little recessive genetics for their children to possibly inherit and display. So those are the goals. And then also our armor body creatures are becoming very independent lately. They have nothing to fear. This island seems not to really have anything that our little ones need to even worry about. So I figure maybe we're getting to the point where the armor body tribe as a whole, the Ukir tribe as a whole, just kind of starts roaming around. They really tend to kind of separate instead of stick really closely together and try to defend one another. They are able to defend themselves because nothing can really chew on them. So why would they stick with one another other than for breeding or other than for having maybe some family members or maybe working on harvesting an area's resources together? So I think that they're going to just start kind of spreading out and maybe coming back together when it's time to breed, but otherwise kind of just doing a little bit of exploring, trying to figure out what the island has, following their curiosity. or their appetites, depending on what traits they may have. Jakos, dang, he has some fantastic movement with that double runner's leg. I am going to be giving him a little blue icon, so maybe in a little bit we will be finding him a lovely bride, because dang, that's really nice to be able to move him so quickly. And then a lot of you guys actually want to see if little A, she has once again regained the name A. I think her name was Riri or something along those lines, and she's our little squirrel creature. But a lot of you guys actually want to see her end up possibly having a child with Moose, to be kind of like Rocky and Bullwinkle, which I thought was a little bit hilarious. And it looks like they could have a healthy kid, or like a healthy immunity kid at least. So B and F immunity on him, I and K on her. So why not? We'll send Riri up there. She's heard rumor of this awesome creature who is named Moose, and he is exceptionally flirty and probably going to father many children. So we'll go ahead, let her settle in. I think Nikki will come on over, and she may jump down. We may not have her child right away. Black Rosie, I think, was coming over. Black Rosie, but Black Rosie, I think, came up to see what all of this hubbubaloo was going on with Moose building up his little harem here, because he's just the most attractive, newest, hottest thing on this island with those lovely horns. But I think Black Rosie may actually have seen Jakos walk by here, and she was really impressed with his speed more so than the size of his horns, as is Moose's outgoing trait. So I think that Black Rosie is actually going to go ahead and follow Jakos, because they have really great immunity genes. I love the fact that she looks like Black Rose from oh so long ago in the Ukiyo tribe. And I really like the fact that they both are cracker-jawed, they both have hammertail, they both have armor body, and they would have some healthy children. So I think we may end up making those two a couple. Alright, so she and Jakos are going to kind of start wandering around together. And then we also have Raina, who also kind of has Black Rose's appearance and traits too. Let's see, and could Raina could be a good mate with Moose. I don't know if she'll want to be. We also have Yaminka, who I think I'll just call him Yaminka. Actually, that's a really cool name. I should call him by his full name. Who has the gills for underwater breathing, and that's a really interesting trait too. But man, I just don't know if his genes are super useful, but he looks so cool, especially with that white mane. So maybe we'll send him over to kind of like investigate the river, because he can dive into the river. Not really sure what Raina may do. She might just pop up here and kind of wander around. Like I said, I really feel like these creatures would start getting really super independent and sort of roaming away from one another, and only coming together when it's time to mate, because they've got plenty of room. They've got plenty to do. They don't have to worry about what may happen if they run into predators, because they've never in their memory, at least as far as I can remember, run into a creature they're gonna have to worry about. Also, Zune, I need to find you a mate, my friend, because Zune, he is also going to be one of our purebred armor body hammertail creatures. Look at him. Doesn't he just look amazing? We need to see. I think Zune's maybe starting to think about romance, so we'll start chasing down a lovely female to share his life with very soon. Speaking of which, there are some lovely females over here who are very busy taking care of these trees. A beer is down here. Let's see, do we have any food over here? Oh, Masila is just watching over her little one. All right, Zoro, you need to start scooching around too. And Zoro's great too. Look at these wonderful genetics we have perfected over so long. I am so proud of them. I think if any of you guys have downloaded their save file on the Dropbox to play, you will also be impressed. The high fertility, the excellent armored body, the hammer tail, all of it. It's really, we've worked so hard to achieve this, so it's kind of nice to sit back and enjoy the fruits of your pure breeding labors now and then. Alright, so Masila is just going to stay. I think she'll just get nice and cozy. We'll have her bless her bones in the nest, I suppose. I do want to get her down here, but I don't think that Zoro would survive because the bird is lurking overhead. Alright, and what's our moose doing? Just looking for more females, I think. There is, however, some roots over here, so he can snag this root to try to impress everybody, kind of show off. I too can do some hunting. Oh my gosh, look at his little harem he has built up over here. Well, at least the tribe is going to get those that precious big moose horns into our genetics one way or another. Alright, so let's get ahead. No, death. Sadness, oh dear, but I guess that frees Zoro to start his wandering around. Like I said, I just really feel like they don't really They don't really mind. There's just a lot of wandering. Yaminka. Oh, Yaminka's cold. No, Yaminka. Oh dear, I think the temperature is dropping. Hopefully Yaminka will be okay. And Angravorius is being as awesome as usual. Taida is hanging out with him too. Oh, Taida, you don't have a cracking ability. Okay, so Taida can't do anything but jump over here. Emmy, can Emmy, oh, Emmy just got some bunny. Can Emmy and Andragorius be mates? Not quite. Yeah, unfortunately there's too much immunity D being shared over here, so they might just explore and wander in that section. We'll have to see. Maybe Emmy will end up with some sort of romance. Alright, and we actually have plenty. Hyla has like the perfect spot over here. She's like super proud of what she's achieved. She also has medium body though, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and give her a little red marker. Probably won't breed her, but man, I think that she kind of has taken the young ones nearby under her wing. So Hyla is kind of like a really good, kind of, you know, like one of those sisters who's more like a mom. And she is taking care of little Abir. So, I mean, technically they could have kids, but she also has a medium tail instead of a medium body. Hyla, who on earth is your like parent? Why were you born in a tribe where we were so careful? Who were her parents? Her parents were Roku. Yeah. You know what? We'll probably find Hyla a nice mate. Maybe we'll actually have Yaminka and Hyla have children and just see what happens if we play with the weirdest of the genes that we have in the Ukir tribe. Left over from Roku, who was super awesome. I think we kept him around because we were trying to keep that immunity C gene going. We have really good immunity genes though. We have worked so hard, guys. Seriously. If you want to download the Ukirs and play them yourself and just like report in on what happened after you start exploring, then let me know, because we have really done a lot of great work with this little group. Alright, Anari is over here. And I think Zune is starting to kind of glance over the females, trying to see who he might be able to flirt with. But I think Anari and Lily are just going to kind of laugh him away, or just kind of gently say they're not interested, because they happen to have immunity D gene. And that is what Zune has as well. So let's see. What about up here? Koana, G, and H. So, I mean, Koana might make a good experienced mother. In fact, that might be useful. You know what? Let's have Zune pop up over here. I think he might... Oh, Zune, he can't... He doesn't have the ability to actually crack open nuts. I was going to have him crack open a nut and be all like, hello, I know that you're older than me, Koana, but perhaps you could be my mate. You know what? Maybe she'll go ahead, have one last child with Zune. And he'll raise that child really wonderfully, even if he's not very good at cracking open the nuts of this tree. But in the wild, it really, like, definitely pays to have a very, very experienced mate. Goodness, and then the roof cat here in Taipei actually caught a cicada, which seems like a very random segue, but it was very loud, so if you heard something super loud in the background, that was a cicada that was caught not 2 feet away from me. And you might want to check the vlogs out on the vlog channel in a couple days to see Boss running around with a cicada in its mouth. So that was pretty cool. Alright, anyway, as I was saying, in the wild, there's often a huge benefit to having a female mate who's really experienced with raising children. I actually read an article the other day that said that the moose, I think it's the female moose who makes it past 7, actually is fantastic at eluding hunters, and her children often live a lot longer as a result. So I think what Zune has done is Zune is thinking of the future welfare of his children, and that yes, he does truly want to raise healthy babies, and so he has chosen one of the most experienced females in the entire tribe to hopefully be able to have very healthy children with. So hopefully their child will be born with some, I might leave Runner's Leg in there because Runner's Leg would be really, really good to give him some better movement. But I think that his interest is less about having a long-term mate and more about having a healthy child. So he has chosen Koana, who is getting on there in the last years of her life, as a possible mate. So we'll have to see where that goes. Meanwhile, his brother Izumi is going to jump across the river, be a little bit dunked in ice, not feel so great as a result. And we're going to have Anari and her sister Lily go ahead and continue exploring. Oh, fudge. They explored right over to a rogue. No, Lily. No, that is not what I had in mind for my perfectly pruned genetics. Oh my gosh. There's a rogue male. INC immunity. Guess what, buddy? I have those. Oh no, and he has really high fertility. Well, thankfully, Lily did not become pregnant. I think she would definitely like kind of shove him away. No, now she is pregnant. Ah! Okay, and I kind of feel like Inari might run over here to try to defend her sister. Dang it. All right, I know that's probably going to end up with another rogue child, but maybe that'll just mean that Zune will like help them to raise the rogue children, but that was not planned. Rogues never are, but that's kind of interesting that that's where those two sisters bumbled into that side adventure there. All right, and then over here, let's see. Sumi actually wants to get across this river, but I don't think he can because he's actually feeling kind of cold. So, let's see. I'm gonna have to just guide him down. No! No, I was supposed to be able to attack you first. Dang it. All right, so Inari and Lily are probably gonna shove this guy into the ocean and get rid of him. But the rogue male is around. They might have some beautiful blue-eyed children at least, or some fishing tail children. It may be that the rogue has just lived under this waterfall for a super long time, so we'll have to see what happens. But gosh darn it. All right, so we'll ignore that, and then let's see. So we have all of our little stories developing, which I absolutely love. Over here we have Reina. I wonder if Reina would probably be more interested. Is Reina actually... Nope, not the perfect mate for Zune. Zune, you're kind of limited on your mate choice here, aren't you? There's so much immunity D. I hadn't realized exactly how much immunity D we have in this tribe. And then if it's not immunity D, it's immunity K. Zune, why are you so closely related to so many of these females? Oh dear. All right, well, we're gonna have to play with that, but let's see. So I wonder if that means... Jakos, are there some females that would make a good mate for you up here? Actually, Nikki. Oh, Nikki is super old too. What the heck? Am I about to lose some of my good females with the genetic diversity? Okay, and Lacuna, unfortunately, wouldn't be able to mate with him either. Immunity D really spread through the tribe a lot thicker than I realized. We might have to be super careful because I do need some purebreds. Let's see. Taida. Oh no, he has immunity D too. Oh my gosh, and so is Andragorius. Who am I gonna... Okay, Black Rosie, G and K. Alright, there's K, D, and E. Taida, I might have to get you up to Black Rosie. So Black Rosie might wander down here to the very nice nest that we have. Let's have her scooch this way. And they're actually cold. All of these creatures... Oh, and then we'll go ahead and get her and Jakos. They have fallen in love as they roam across the open side of the mountain, looking for a nice little nest to call their own. I wonder if there's actually one somewhere over there. We'll find one. Alright, and then I guess that Moose is just gonna have... Oh, did we have a baby? I'm sorry, little guy. I didn't even notice you. I feel so bad. And sure enough, he has all of the traits that we want as recessive traits. So we'll have to see what we can do with him. Really, it's his older siblings who I'm a bit more interested in. But we're gonna name him... We'll go with Neo. Just a nice, simple name from the amazing list of names that you guys have provided. Thank you so much for leaving so many names in every episode, by the way. It's really exciting to see what you guys pick, and I know a lot of you guys actually go through and copy those names for your own list too, because it's very, very helpful. Alright, so enough of this random babble. I'm really worried about how I'm going to pass on my genes, though. I hadn't realized that, like, everybody suddenly has the same genes. I'm gonna have to be super careful. Tiger, is there somebody who you could take as a mate over here? H and K immunity, D and G immunity. Tiger, sure enough. I think Tiger is going to come to the call of the very angry females, and he might actually... He is probably like directly related to Lily, but I think he might help out take care of them for Inari's sake. Yep, that's what we're going to have to do if we want to make sure we preserve my precious genes. Alright, so let's go ahead and get moving. We've already got these two little ones. Takel and Doe are going to be playing around here. And then we'll get Nikki up here. And then I don't think Reina is ready to breed just yet. I think that she's going to do a little bit of exploring. But I think that Riri thinks that, hey, this seems pretty cool. And being a natural squirrel nester, of course she would pick like a higher up location to go ahead and put her nest. All right, there we go. And Lacuna was coming up to breed as well. But I think that Lacuna saw Jacos run by and she sees the big crowd over here. And, you know, I get the feeling Lacuna might be a little bit shyer than the others, especially because she's feeling a little bit cold. So, like, she's like, oh, I feel like I'm out in the cold compared to all of these guys. So I think we're going to go ahead and send her this way, and she's going to work her way down to Jacos and stay with Jacos as well, because we need to have that solid armor body hammertail gene going very, very strongly, but I didn't realize that our immunity genes are starting to be put at such a risk. All right, and then Elena, can I do anything special with you, my dear? She can move really darn fast, and there's a lot of bunnies down here, so maybe she can spook them this way. All right, so, and then Moose... I think Moose is just sitting here very, very proud of himself, so he doesn't need to do anything. All right. Oh, and the temperature dropped. Oh, we had some mutations. Let's see. Baby born with mutation. Yes, all right. So we have some healthy babies down here. Oh, look at that. Zune's first child. I'm so excited. Oh, Zune, what are we going to name your child? All right, let me go down. We're going to name his child. Let's go with... I think those are all girl names. There's always so many more girl names than boy names. All right, let's go with Kusi. I kind of like that one. All right, come here, you. Because his name already had a K in it. So there we go. And Koana, I think, is quite proud about their current child. And we definitely need to protect it. So I think Sumi might come down and be like, what's going on over here? And we'll scooch Koana over. And I think... She and Zune will have their last child, and then Zune will very, very proudly raise their 2 sons. Or, well, I'm assuming it's going to be a boy. I think Zune thinks that he's going to have like 2 sons to raise. We'll have to see if that's actually the case. Azumi over here is finding some dead fish in this river, which is very convenient. And then we have a pair of very angry sisters whose angry growls and yells have probably attracted Tagir. So holy moly, and probably their appetites have attracted some attention too, because that's a lot of bunnies. Oh, dang it, and I wasn't able to get any of them. So I think that they're going to come over and explain to Tagir what has happened. They have fallen pregnant unexpectedly and don't know what to do about it, and Tagir is going to help out his sister Lily and help out her best friend / possible half-sister. Hard to tell once the family tree starts looking like this. Anari, and we'll have a little romance born from that. All right, then we're going to run over here. Oh, good. And we've got stuff going on. So, oops, that's right. Let's see. Can I get this fish? No, the fish is not dead yet, unfortunately. But Yamenka, I think, is kind of chilly. So he'll come on over. Zoro's doing well. I think we'll just let him go ahead and explore and wander. He's very cold, too, because he doesn't have enough moves due to the cold. And then Hyla is still just working really hard here, taking very good care of her tree. She seems like she's actually kind of warm. And she and Yamenka can actually keep each other company. So that'll be... Nah! I wasn't supposed to actually... Oh, I didn't mean to, like, lose that acorn. Okay. Alright, there we go. So yeah, I think that Hyla and Yamenka are kind of glancing at each other and thinking, hey now. And I think that Hyla might be ready to have her own children now that little Abir has grown up. Alright, wonderful. My little stories. I love my little stories. And let's see, Andragorius, we'll just scoot you over here. Taida, you don't even have anything to attack with. Taida, why? Oh my gosh. And then we'll just go ahead and let Emmy kind of collect over here. I think she's more interested in this tree. And then I think we'll have Black Rosie jump down and she'll get nice and comfortable. And I think she and Jacos actually really love just like running around together. I'm beginning to realize Black Rosie is super, super fast because she has runner's leg. Jacos is super, super fast because he has doubled up runner's leg. So I think they actually fell in love by racing up and down the mountainside together. And I really love that idea. That's actually adorable. And I'm so happy to have the mutation menu back, to be completely honest. So I really prefer the mutation menu. Let's see if Black Rosie and Jacos, look at them. They're fine. There's nothing I can really put in there other than maybe mutating in red fur, maybe mutating in dots, just for the heck of it, or maybe mutating in black eyes just for the heck of it. I might as well just go ahead and put that in there to unlock some new genes. But I really think that the epigenetics option is so cool. Not quite properly displayed in the update, but I'll talk about that in the update videos for what epigenetics actually is. However, it is a pretty cool concept of something new in the game to try out, and it will be something I'll try to remember for the future. And I think that Lana just got really obsessed with the idea of chasing down these bunnies, but I really want her to have more panda pattern children, so we'll scooch her up in a second. She did, however, have Neo, and Neo is a panda pattern child, and oh my gosh, what? Tata has been reborn? Oh my goodness, we can't change his name. That's one of the things we do. Tata was the trickster god of like another tribe ago, for those of you who don't know. And usually when he shows up, anytime he's reborn, things start getting interesting really quickly. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that, because we're gonna see where that goes. All right. Meanwhile, I think we're gonna have Takel. How far can Doe jump? We'll have Doe and Takel start exploring down the side of the mountain. I think that they're very, very active, and it does help that they have runner's leg. And then Doe does have digger paw, just because they are not armor bodied, and just because they are not, just because they don't have armor body, they don't have hammer tail, doesn't mean that they can't actually live out very rich and fulfilling lives. And I think that their father's fame as the flirty moose of the tribe is probably one of the few things that are actually keeping them from feeling really out of place amongst a tribe of armor body hammer-tailed creatures. Also, I love Doe's look. Isn't she just beautiful? She's really, really pretty. I really like her, actually. Look at you, Doe. And you're just running down the mountainside with your brother, too. So they're starting to explore and just take over this mountain. And did we just have... Oh, look at that! We have a big nose! I think that's like the first time we've had big nose in ages. So that's interesting, too. And that is little Riri and the Moose's child. So let's see. I kind of want to name him Bullwinkle. So, Winkle. There we go. There we go. Just for the heck of it, just because so many of you guys requested it. And let's see, K and B immunity, and we'll just name him Bull. And he's named Bull because he's supposed to have the horns. He wasn't born with them, but they picked the name before he was born. So, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. All right, so Nikki is gonna jump over. I think she'll have one more child with him because she just thinks that he's so amazing. And maybe Moose will be able to have more of his little children running around the place. And Lacuna was supposed to be able to go in and breed with him, but it's actually kind of hard to get his attention. Moose is starting to get a little distracted by his fame. All of the nests around him and the location he's picked actually means it's kind of hard to actually reach him. So that's his loss, I suppose. And then Riri, is there anything she can do up here for us? Let's see. Nope. Not sure what we're going to do with Riri. I mean, she can go and try to collect some, but maybe she's just going to sit up here and kind of keep an eye on her children. So we'll just let her do that. All right, is that about everything? I think that's about everything. We'll get everybody settled, and let's go ahead and meanwhile, the small family love story that's playing out down here, we're going to see what Zune and Koana's last child is going to be. Oh, and it's snowing. The snows have begun. And it is a boy. Oh, no. And I just heard a creature show up, and I think things might start getting a little bit tough. And we're going to have to see if we're going to be able to endure the cold and what we're going to do about that. And Black Rosie just had a child that looks just like her. Oh my gosh, she's beautiful. This is awesome. All right, I think that they're very proud. Like mother, like daughter over here. And then Lana has a predator that she has to cope with just as the children start exploring. It's starting to get super cold. Their energy is being sapped, and we need to make sure that they don't die in the winter. Are we going to lose our ice genetic creatures because they're going to die in the winter? And then we have a whole bunch of black-eyed babies born. So I hope the tribe won't take that as a bad thing. Probably not. Probably not. And then we still have the bones blessed over here. And we still have the rogue children that I totally forgot about. I hope they're not going to die in the cold just from the circumstances. I don't think Azumi can even move. He's frozen! Azumi's frozen! What are we going to do for him? How am I going to how do you just... Azumi! Hang in there! Oh my gosh, I've never had a creature be frozen before, actually. How am I going to take care of the babies? Sumi's right over here, like, warming up the pack, but, I mean, is he going to be allowed to leave and try to take care of his brother? And what's Zune going to do now that the babies, I mean, okay, we're going to have to make some decisions. We're going to have to make some choices. But alright, guys, I will see you guys back here next time for more adventures with the Yukir tribe. We will be playing a little bit more with the epigenetics mod. I think we'll try exploring this island more or less fully and just waiting until Takel and Doe, should they survive to adulthood, are old enough to try having some kids, and then we will move on because I do want to see if we can discover the last of the hidden ice genetics on the next snowy island and just how far we can push the Yukir tribe before things really start getting interesting. So we're at our 30 creature limit before I start making some really hard choices, and we may actually start releasing some of them and just leaving them to fend for themselves and seeing what happens. So, all right, I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.